advice can you give entrepreneurs seeking investors?
It's be very, very specific and clear about what it is you want. And then get to know the investor as best as you can so that you're not wasting your time or theirs. There's nothing worse than an investor sitting in front of somebody who didn't do their homework. And the third one would be very, very clear about what it is that you're willing to give back to the investor. And in South Africa, there's such a culture of give me. There's very little consideration for what do I give the investor? What are they looking for? Can I do so? And sometimes it may be an impact investor who does a catalytic grant. That's it. What they clearly want is that you must have planted 5,000 trees by that date, but clearly understand what they want.
I think if you're looking for investors, there's two important things. Number one is, do you have a set of books that investors want to look at? It's so often overlooked. You know, when you go to an investor, they want to see your finances, they want to see the accounts, they want to know that there's, statutory compliance. So what do your records look like? Are they clean? Are you putting all of your personal expenses through your accounts? Are they being looked at regularly? And then I think second, what sort of structure are you building into the practice to allow it to grow? So can it operate without you? A lot of businesses are very owner-driven. And especially in accounting, that's one of the challenges for an accountant is how you graduate out of that role. We've seen some research that shows that some of the most successful cloud accounting firms, for example, have a partner revenue number that goes down. So in other words, the more senior the partner, the lower their billable time goes, which is in direct contradiction to the traditional practice where most partners are seeking to increase their billable revenue. Exactly. So the question then becomes, how much is the business dependent on you and how much is it systems or process sort of driven?
You have to be able to tell a good story. I think the story about the business, the purpose of the business, not how much money you're going to make initially, but what is your reason for being? Why are you there? Because if you think I'm just there to try and make a good living, don't even bother. You need to be able to show that you are serving a purpose and you are serving people's needs and wants. So, tell that story and then show them how the business plan works.
I would say try and do it without an investor. Investors, in my experience, our first investor wanted 80% of our business. And because it's worth nothing, you might think, but it might become something. So my first advice would do your best to do it without investors. It depends on your business you're starting. Ad agency, computer in your mind.
Exactly.
Maybe easier.
Okay.
When it comes to professional investing, most people are not going to invest unless they've seen you already put some skin in the game.
Okay.
So again, I'm going to ask the guy, did you ask your dad for money? And if you didn't have the guts to ask your dad for money, why are you asking me for money? Generally speaking, that's how it works.
Okay.
But another thing is you must ignore people like me. I'm a little bit jaded with this stuff, so people got to try. You mustn't not try just because somebody said it's not possible.
Of course.
And the way to find out whether somebody will back you is to tell as many people as possible about your idea. Don't worry about whether people are going to steal your idea.
That's a big thing. I think people are always worried about that.
Don't worry about that. That's a great filter. First, you find out who you can't trust in life.
Yeah.
Secondly, you find out whether your idea was worth something or not. Because if somebody could steal it and execute it, then you had no real value. And lastly, how's somebody going to ever back you if they don't know what you're doing?
True.